Hey, what's up, my new Standard Nation? It's TJ with Strategic Real Estate Experts, and today we're going to talk about what if the seller wants to stay in the house after closing, and what should you do? So, one, don't worry. It's something that does happen, or as a buyer, you can say, no, I don't want it to. But what it's called is when the seller stays in the house after closing, it's called post-closing possession. So typically we see this when a seller is like, well, my closing on my next house isn't for a couple days. I would like to occupy this house or rent it back from you for 2 days or 5 days or whatever that might be that you negotiate. What are the things that you need to know, though, to make sure we're protecting yourself? So, one, make sure you're charging that seller a per day fee or rate for the amount of time they would like to stay. Two, make sure in the closing, in the escrow account, or have an escrow account set up where the seller is setting aside a bunch of cash in case they do damage or don't get out of the property. And three, and in my opinion, if the seller says, hey, I want 3 days to post-closing occupy, and you're going to charge them $50 a day, and they agree to that, I would put in writing that any day they stay past that is a significant charge. Let's say $200 a night or something like that, so they're motivated to get out of there in that time frame. So, with that, also, in Wisconsin, we have an addendum that we use to help spell out, like, if anything's broken, if any damage is done, how many keys the seller gets, all of that kind of stuff. So it's basically like a short-term little lease where they're renting it back from you. Now, this downfall is, and I haven't had it happen, but if that seller doesn't leave and you never spelled out anything, like there was a per day charge or whatever that is, you might actually have to evict them and spend a bunch of money to get them out of your brand new house. So typically, I haven't seen it happen, but that's stuff you need to think about. It's obviously happened before, and it's stuff, if you're going to rent it back to them, make it painful enough that if they stay, they're going to owe you that money. And make sure that stuff is set up in writing and kept when you go to closing in an escrow account so that you're going to get that cash to make up for if the seller refuses to do what they're supposed to. So, with that said, just know everything's a negotiation, and if they're going to rent it back from you, it's not a bad thing. Sometimes in this market, we have to do that when it's a really strong seller's market to get our offer won over somebody else's. But again, you want to win, but you also want to protect yourself and make sure you're not doing something and then not going to be able to get in your brand new home. So if you want to know more about what it takes to actually buy a house or how maybe you can get into the house before closing with a pre-closing occupancy, check out knowbeforeyoubuy.realestate.com. You can call, text, or email me with any questions, 608-576-0044, and email is tj@sreehelp.com. Don't forget to raise your standard, and we'll talk to you soon.